Hi. Have you ever ignored your intuition and wished you hadn't? I know I have. Rumi said that intuition, that there's a voice inside of us that doesn't have words. Listen. But what is intuition really, in simple terms? It's an accumulation of our inner knowledge, our experiences that our unconscious holds, that we don't know on a thinking level, on a reasoning level, it's just inside us. And on those occasions where we feel that sense of something dropping in on us, that's intuition supplied by our unconscious, based on our experiences, giving us a nudge to understand what we need to know. Because at the end of the day, our intuition is part of us and a really good friend to us once we get to know it well. So, why might we ignore it? If it's such a good friend, what's going on? Well, it's not necessarily our fault. Basically, from day one, when we're born, we are given to understand that our parents know best, our teachers knows best, the rules know best, society knows best, normal is best. And all of these different factors don't necessarily tie in with what we intuitively know is good for ourselves, because we're all unique. So sometimes, through the best of reasons, we come out with not such a good turnout of understanding, because losing connection with our intuition isn't a good step. So let me give you a demonstration. Just recently, I was deciding on where I would go and visit next. And I was seriously thinking of going to somewhere that I have always wanted to go. I'd read about it, I've been intrigued by it, and all the things that I look out for were adding up for me. But then I went off to sleep on it, and the following morning I saw an article saying, beach gangs. And essentially, fear took over. I decided I didn't want to go there anymore. I booked somewhere else. Ironically, exactly what I didn't want to happen happened in this somewhere else. And I didn't pause and listen to what my intuition would have said. I just got carried away by the fear. But then later on, when I've chosen another place to stop yet again, I've put that option forward again. And lo and behold, it's presented itself as being a top destination for the categories of criteria that I really value. And yet, even though it's really highly rated in all the best things, it's still linked to that article that gave me such a bad feeling. Well, not a bad feeling. It scared me, basically. But instead of getting scared this time, I stopped and paused, just listened to what my body said. And no, in spite of seeing both sides of the coin, I still knew it was the place I wanted to visit, the place I wanted to go. And I listened to what my own intuition was telling me. And essentially, we can all do this simple check-in very easily. It's a 3-step thing. All you need to do is, when you're feeling uncertain, is don't question it, don't interrogate it, just allow yourself to acknowledge that you're feeling uncertain. Then check in with your body and just see what you're feeling, where you're feeling it. Just sit with that. And then ask yourself, well, what was that saying to me? And here's the thing. If it's intuition, it just drops in with a feeling, a knowing. It doesn't stamp its foot or demand attention or coerce you into decisions. That's more the fear-based side of things. Basically, if you've got your head overthinking, if you're feeling anxious, worrying, if your brain's arguing with you, if you're feeling pushed in a hard way, that is not intuition. Your intuition is just that subtle sensation, that sense of knowing. And try going with that, because that is 100% on your side. And why is this so important in midlife? Well, here's the thing. In midlife, we have accumulated so many valuable experiences. Why wouldn't we tap into them? All those experiences feed into that inner knowing. All we need to do is get used to acknowledging it and listening to it again. Because the chances are we've pushed it to one side for quite some time. A lot of us do. And if I want to give you some examples of intuition in action, I know I've bought and sold homes a number of times throughout my life. And during those exchanges, I've had a vast number of experiences. So believe you me, when I'm buying and selling now, my intuition has got a stack of experience to draw upon, stored in my unconscious. Not in the top of my head, where I can just reason with it, but inside me, stored as part of me. And let's say I'm buying a home. You know that time when you ask the simple question and you either get an evasive answer, a non-answer, a sideways answer? The chances are that your intuition will tell you at that point that there's something off. It does me. And when I'm selling, if there's somebody out there trying to push me towards a certain price, a certain way of doing things, and they're just giving it some force, so to speak, I intuitively know now, based on all my accumulated experiences, that the chances of that being advantageous to me is slim to none. And my intuition will just drop it on me and I will just be thinking, that sounds off. But let's think about the myths that we have about intuition. The top one is that it's always right. Sadly, no, because a lot of us don't have the self-awareness immediately to recognise when it's intuition, when it's wishful thinking, or when it's intuition and when we're projecting our ideas. Intuition works best when we know ourselves best. They go hand in hand. And then there's that myth that not everybody has intuition. No, it's a human thing. Everybody has intuition. We might not listen to it, we might have submerged it, we might ignore it, but everybody's got it. We just need to tune in. And then there's the myth about it's being mystical and spiritual. Now, don't get me wrong, intuition can be particularly strong in these areas. But on a basic level, the fact remains, we all have it on an everyday basis. It's not some magical property that is only available to some. No, it's available to all. We just need to learn to trust. And how about feminine intuition? I think we've probably all heard about that. And here's the thing. Women have intuition, but so do men. We all have it. It's just that society tells us that it's a more acknowledgeable thing in a woman than it is in a man. And then last but not least, there's this myth that intuition can predict the future. No, intuition is in the moment. It's all our accumulated inner knowledge and experiences dropping in on us in that moment. It can't predict what's going to happen 10 years down the line. It's, it's there with us, nudging us in the here and now. And I guess that leads us into the real reality of intuition, that it's a muscle like any other. So you get some people who appear to be super intuitive just because they've used that muscle more often, they're more in tune with it. But we can all take whatever we've got inside with us and build the muscle and become more aware of it, more in tune with it, better aligned with it. And it can really help us with our decision making because it's taking everything we've learned so far to this stage in midlife, and we've got such a wealth of knowledge. Seriously, our intuition is such a bonus. It would be a huge, huge sadness not to tap into it. So, why not take this opportunity to get in touch with your intuition today? Take a look at the workbook and the infographic in the description below. They'll give you that helping hand. And if you're going to take away anything today, take away that trusting our intuition can align us in ways that are better than we can imagine. So just go for it. Thank you.